Okay. Under how declarative knowledge is learned, you'll find this information in the book, Chapter 6. There are two general forms of long-term memory storage processes, and the first one we're going to talk about is rote learning, but there's also one called meaningful learning. I want to concentrate most of my time on meaningful learning because that is where, as the name implies, meaningful. That's when you make knowledge and activities become meaningful enough to the students that it then goes into long-term memory. So as we look at rote learning is learners engage in rote learning when when they try to learn and remember something without attaching much meaning to it. They don't have to understand it. One common form is rehearsal, repeating something over and over within a short time frame, either by saying it aloud or by consciously thinking about it in an altered verbatim fashion. That may be what you do when you're studying for a test of some kind. I tend to do that a lot, say it over and over and over, and that is a type of rote learning. Not very effective for the most part, not for me anyway. Contrary to what many students think, however, rehearsal is not a very effective way of storing information in long-term memory because mainly it'll just stay in that working memory. You'll just keep kind of churning it in there. If a learner repeats something often enough, it might eventually sink in, but the process is slow, laborious, and not much fun, as you can imagine. Just repeating the multiplication tables over and over and over and over. That's not much fun, and I don't know how much understanding students get from it either. People who use rehearsal and other forms of rote learning often have trouble remembering what they've learned because is normally not placed in long-term memory. Or not in a means that they could then pull it out and use it later. For instance, I've had college students who I've put up the problem 3 times 5 equals 15. Yes, they agree it's 15. When I ask how it's 15, they have no idea. That's because, yes, the calculator says 3 times 5 is 15, but if you don't understand what 3 times 5 means, it's 3 groups of 5. 5 groups of 3, and when you add all those together, it comes up with 15. That is understanding. That's meaningful learning, actually. Verbally rehearsing information is probably better than not actively processing it at all, and rehearsal may be one of the few strategies students can use when they have little prior knowledge to draw on. So that way, in essence, rote learning is memorization. You're not really putting any type of meaning to it. It's just 3 times 5 equals 15, 3 times 5 equals 15, that kind of thing. Well, the second type is meaningful learning, and of course, I hope that you know this would be my pick. It involves recognizing a relationship between new information and something already stored in long-term memory. So you are making connections, you're helping the students make connections with material that may already be in long-term memory. Research says that information's easier to get in long-term memory if there's something that they can hook it to. There's a memory already there. When we use words like comprehension and understanding, we're talking about meaningful learning. We're not talking about memorization. Meaningful learning is more effective than rote learning for storing information in long-term memory because when you do a hands-on, touch it, feel it, and it becomes meaningful, it is easier to store it and you're able to recall it than in long-term memory because there is an experience with it, if that makes sense. It is especially effective when learners relate new ideas not only to what they already know about the world, but also to what they know or believe about themselves. The visual imagery can be especially powerful when used in combination with other forms of encoding. So you should use more than just verbal. Any teacher should use more than just verbal talking. If you can add if you talk and then put a visual with it, it's more apt to go into long-term memory as well. Using 2 different learning styles is more effective in getting it to long-term memory. An example might be students are more readily learn and remember information they receive in both the verbal and graphic form. They are also likely to benefit from being explicitly asked to represent information both verbally and visually. So if maybe you have some kind of a task or a project they're working on. I have 2 examples. I have you an example of what rote learning looks like, and I have an example of meaningful learning as well. Meaningful learning is clearly more effective than rote learning in my opinion, and I hope it is yours because I'd like to see that meaningful learning happening in your classroom. Now, some students will approach schoolwork with that meaningful learning in mind. they will turn to what they already know, to what makes sense of new information. They'll try to recall it in long-term memory. These students who do that will be your high achievers in the classroom. Other students, and perhaps majority of students, use rote learning strategies, repeating something over and over to themselves without really thinking about it. They're just saying it, maybe writing it over and over and over, not really thinking about it. These students are going to learn less successfully. So you're going to have to teach your students that meaningful learning, although it doesn't, it's out of the norm, it is the most productive. Now, the saddest part is many teaching practices. We encourage students to learn school subjects by rote, and you may not even realize, but think about students writing their spelling words. What do they gain from writing the spelling words? I've seen students do this hundreds of times. Maybe they're spelling the word apple. They write A, all down the paper, and then P, and then the P, on, down. Now, how much thinking goes into writing your spelling words? It is a common practice among teachers, though, because I can tell you that is a lot quicker. Rote learning is a lot quicker to get in, get out of than a meaningful learning experience where you actually have an activity. When students discovered assignments and assessments focus on recall of unrelated facts, rather than on just ABCD answers, rather than understanding and application of some knowledge, many rely on the rote learning, believing that approach will yield a higher score. And then they think that the meaningful learning would be counterproductive. That meaningful learning is the exception rather than the rule in many classrooms. And I can't emphasize that there is a place and time for rote learning, but the majority of what you're teaching your students should be coming out of that meaningful learning experience. Probably there's 3 conditions that facilitate this meaningful learning. The learner has a meaningful learning set. When students approach a learning task believing that they can make sense of the information, when they have a meaningful learning set, they're more likely to learn the information meaningfully. So you have to help them set that, get out of that old rote learning type format and get to a meaningful learning experience. Secondly, the learner has previous knowledge to which the new information can be related. Meaningful learning can occur only when long-term memory contains a relevant knowledge base. So once again, it goes back to the experiences your student has had. The information to which a new idea can be connected is very important. If I can't connect, if something's brand new, there's nothing in long-term memory to draw it from, it's harder for me to learn that task. The more knowledge students have already stored in their long-term memory, the easier it is for them to learn. Bottom line, because there's more things with which the information can be associated with already in long-term memory. The last one, the learner's aware that previously learned information is related to new information, even when they have relevant prior knowledge. Students don't necessarily retrieve it when learning something new. They resort to that rote learning unnecessarily because they don't understand and it's what they've been taught how to do. Once we as the teachers can promote meaningful learning by reminding students of things they know that bear directly on top of classroom study, that's a teaching strategy known as the prior knowledge activation. You are actually bringing the information to life. So as teachers, we should not only encourage meaningful learning through classroom activities and assessments, but also look for evidence of it in students' comments, questions, and written work. It should be more than an A, B, C, D answer. Copying something from the chalkboard by itself involves nothing more than rote learning. So think about when you are, used to be when notes were written on the board and I as a student was copying them off. Did it take any comprehension or any thought process to do that? No, I could copy it and not even really think about what I'm writing down. So keep that in mind. Try to set up that meaningful learning experience for the student. You're having one on a day-to-day basis with Ms. Smith. And I hope you're enjoying it. Look at those 2 differences. Compare those 2 differences and tell me which you would rather set through. Yes, rote looks easier, but meaningful learning should be a more in-depth learning. Let me know what you think.